Magandang araw! Samahan niyo ako muli sa panibagong adventure natin ngayon.
A few moments later.
So, the Presidential Car Museum or Museon ng Pampangulong Sasakyan, which opened in 2018, features the largest collection of historic state cars in the Philippines, making a notable destination for a car enthusiasts and motorheads. Which located within the Quezon Memorial Circle in Quezon City. The Presidential Car Museum is one of the 27 history museums under the National Historical Commission of the Philippines or NHCP. Admission is free. Parking in the area is spacious and visitors allowed to take pictures inside, making it worthwhile spot to check out if you happen to be in the area. As of October 2022, which happens to be Museum and Galleries Month in the Philippines, walk-in visitors are allowed and no reservation are required to visit. The vintage cars on displays serve as historical artifacts that give visitors new insights on Philippine history and former leaders. It's great to be able to see them all in one place, right in the city as they were previously scattered in various parts of the country. The museum currently contains 12 presidential cars used by 13 past presidents, starting from Emilio Aguinaldo, who ruled during the First Republic in 1899, to Gloria Mapagal-Aroyo, who ended her term in office in 2010. Presidential cars of Carlos P. Garcia and Benigno Aquino III are not included in the museum as the former was never recovered. While the latter is still used, President Manuel Quezon reportedly used his own Toyota Land Cruiser 200 since he assumed office. Meanwhile, Sergio Osmeña opted to use the Packard of his predecessor, Jose P. Laurel. Here's the full list of presidential cars and who they belong to us and some interesting trivia about each of the vehicles. Considered the most aerodynamic car of its era, the Chrysler Airflow was the rare sight on the road during its time because only 30,000 units were sold throughout the 4 years it was in productions. This vehicle was designated for society's upper class and heads of state, with the interiors decorated with the best fabrics, leather, and carpeting, including wool ceiling. The Fleetwood Series 75 was distinguished by a massive vertical grille that stretched out to the fender's enlarged hood. The Cadillac was labeled as one of the more powerful cars of its era because of its engine. This luxury brand of Chrysler has a long wheelbase and partitions window inside with an engine that could propel the car, which weighs 2 tons. This car was one of the first vehicles to offer power-assisted disc brakes and a 12-volt electrical system. While President Matsay still used Quirino's Crown Imperial, the government purchased a Cadillac Series 7523 as a supplementary vehicle until the first term of President Ferdinand Marcos. This car belonged to the luxurious Fleetwood models and it's considered one of the best models of the Series 7523 in the world. The Cadillac Devil on display is not the actual unit used by Diosdado Macapagal, but a similar model of the first generation's wild vehicle which was made from 1959 to 1960. The elegant Lincoln Town Signature Series was favored by President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. because it could be expanded to accommodate a spacious interior even in the 1980s. This vehicle had a high-tech features such as a keyless entry and a digital gauge cluster with a trip computer that indicated miles to empty and estimated time of arrival. The relatively simple and understated looking vehicle that the administration of President Corazon Aquino chose had built-in security features. This was the first car to feature bulletproof panels and glass windows measuring 2 inches thick. Similar to his predecessor, President Ramos chose the Mercedes-Benz 500 SEL, initially assigned to Aquino's Vice President Salvador Laurel. Though his vehicle was not heavily armored, however, it has exclusive features. MacArthur gives his 1943 Swedish Jeep to Ramon Magsaysay, who served as the Secretary of National Defense during the Quirino administrations. Before cars, the main way to get around was the engineless, horse-drawn calesas. This was utilized by Leon Apacible, one of the authors and signatories of 1899 Malolos Constitution. The carriage was used by his family up until the 1940s. Quezon City Memorial Circle.